June 1944. German military engineers captured an intact American Willys Jeep near Saint-Lô, France. The Jeep was undamaged. The Jeep was operational. German military intelligence immediately ordered the vehicle transported to Berlin for technical analysis. What German engineers discovered during their examination would fundamentally change their understanding of American manufacturing philosophy and industrial capability. The Willys Jeep arrived at the Wehrmacht Technical Analysis Center in Berlin. German engineers began systematic examination of every component. The first observation was shocking. The Jeep was simple. The Jeep was elegant. The Jeep was efficient. German engineers had expected complexity. German engineers had expected German-level engineering sophistication. Instead, they found American pragmatism. The frame was lightweight steel tubing. The design was minimalist. Every component served a specific function. No excess material existive. No unnecessary complexity existive. The design philosophy was revolutionary. German engineers realized they had been overthinking vehicle design. German engineers had added complexity where simplicity worked better. The engine was a four-cylinder Willys Hurricane engine. The displacement was only 134 cubic inches. The engine produced 75 horsepower. German engineers calculated the power-to-weight ratio. The result was exceptional. The Jeep weighed approximately 1,200 pounds. The engine produced powerful output for the minimal weight. German vehicles weighed substantially more for similar power output. The transmission was a 3-speed manual with a transfer case providing 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive capability. The design was straightforward. The engineering was elegant. German engineers realized American designers had solved problems through simplicity rather than complexity. German military vehicles used more complex transmission systems that required more maintenance and consumed more resources. The axles were Dana axles designed for strength and durability. The design could handle extreme terrain. The design remained simple enough for field maintenance. German engineers recognized that American designers had understood that military vehicles must be maintainable by soldiers with minimal training. German military vehicles required specialized technicians for repairs. The suspension system used leaf springs. The suspension provided adequate performance on varied terrain. The suspension required minimal maintenance. The suspension parts were inexpensive to manufacture. German engineers examined the suspension and recognized that American designers had prioritized reliability and maintainability over comfort. The steering mechanism was direct and responsive. Turning radius was excellent for a military vehicle. The steering required minimal effort. German engineers tested the steering and recognized it as superior to their own designs. German military vehicles often required excessive steering effort on rough terrain. The tires were Goodyear military tires designed for rough terrain. The tire design combined grip with durability. Tire replacement was straightforward. German engineers realized American tire technology had advanced beyond German capabilities in this specific application. German engineers began calculating manufacturing costs. The Willys Jeep used approximately 40% less material than comparable German military vehicles. The Willys Jeep required fewer manufacturing steps. The Willys Jeep could be assembled faster. The Willys Jeep cost substantially less to produce. German engineers realized America could manufacture military vehicles faster and cheaper than Germany despite German manufacturing sophistication. German intelligence officers calculated production implications. America could produce 10 Willys Jeeps for every one German military vehicle produced at comparable cost. American manufacturing could focus resources on quantity rather than individual vehicle complexity. German manufacturing philosophy emphasized individual vehicle quality at expense of quantity. American manufacturing philosophy emphasized efficient mass production. The German engineering report concluded that American designers had fundamentally understood something German designers had missed. American designers understood that military vehicles must be simple enough for soldiers to maintain. American designers understood that manufacturing efficiency was more important than individual component sophistication. American designers understood that military vehicles would be abandoned rather than recovered, so repair capability mattered less than production speed. German military command received the analysis report with considerable concern. The report indicated that American industrial philosophy was fundamentally different from German philosophy. German philosophy emphasized quality and durability. American philosophy emphasized speed and efficiency. In total war, American philosophy was superior. The Willys Jeep report was classified as strategic intelligence. The report was distributed to German military leadership. The report sparked discussion about German manufacturing philosophy. Some German engineers argued that German vehicles were superior quality. Other German engineers argued that American quantity advantage would overwhelm German quality advantage in prolonged war. German analysis calculated that America could produce approximately 300,000 military jeeps during the war. Germany could produce perhaps 50,000 comparable vehicles. The quantity advantage was overwhelming. German military leadership recognized that quantity advantage meant American military force would eventually overwhelm German military force regardless of individual vehicle quality. The captured Willys Jeep remained at the Technical Analysis Center for the duration of the war. German engineers continued examining the vehicle. German engineers continued studying American design philosophy. German engineers eventually understood that American manufacturing represented a different approach to engineering rather than inferior engineering. German post-war engineers studied the Willys Jeep analysis reports. Post-war German engineers recognized that American design philosophy had advantages. Post-war German engineering incorporated some American concepts. Post-war German manufacturers recognized that American approaches to manufacturing had influenced global design philosophy. The Willys Jeep became iconic in military history. American soldiers loved the Jeep. American soldiers recognized the Jeep's reliability and capability. American soldiers understood the Jeep was simple enough to maintain. American soldiers understood the Jeep could be repaired using basic tools. The Jeep influenced post-war vehicle design globally. Manufacturers recognized that American design philosophy combined simplicity with functionality. Manufacturers incorporated American design principles into their own vehicles. Modern military vehicles worldwide show influences of original Willys Jeep design. German engineers eventually admitted that American designers had achieved something remarkable. American designers had created a vehicle that was simple, reliable, efficient, maintainable, and producible in massive quantities. German engineers had created vehicles that were complex, sophisticated, expensive, difficult to maintain, and producible only in limited quantities. The Willys Jeep represented American manufacturing philosophy perfectly. American designers understood that military vehicles would be used hard and abandoned. American designers designed for manufacturing efficiency rather than individual vehicle sophistication. American designers created something revolutionary through simplicity rather than complexity. German military analysis concluded that American manufacturing philosophy represented a fundamental threat. Germany could not match American quantity regardless of German quality advantages. German military production would be overwhelmed by American production capacity. The Willys Jeep analysis confirmed that America would win the war through superior manufacturing rather than superior design.